What's going on, guys? This is Manuel Godoy from Black Sands Entertainment, hanging with Peter from Peta Studios, and he is here to talk about his newest Kickstarter for Olaju. Now, if you guys don't know what the heck Elaju is, it's basically one of the more unique stories out there about. It's not what I would say it's about, but it's based on African religious beliefs in the past. So we're going to deep dive a little deeper into that in the future. But for now, Peter, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi guys, my name is Peter, founder of Pen Entertainment. Creator of Chayoma, the popular Chayoma. We're here to talk about Olaju. Yeah, right now it's on Kickstarter, and um, most of you must have. I don't know if they've seen the covers or the promotions that we've been doing. So Olaju is basically a prehistorical story, right? But it's based upon African myth. A specific tribe from the Igbo tribe of West Africa. These creatures, it's about these creatures called the Nkuru Osisi. Is that clear, Manuel? Nkuru Osisi, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's they from the stories that I heard and I was told, they lived in the forest millions of years way before man. So there was there was said to be the earth builders, you know, they take care of the forest, and they don't let bad any like forest. They protect the forest. They make sure the forest is all right and all that. So basically, so out of that myth, we got this idea of telling a very unique story about Earth. Using creatures and animals, and the myth to create this world. Olaju is a Yoruba word, right? Olaju means one who becomes enlightened, or because Yoruba sometimes when you speak about in Yoruba, it might mean two different things, but they're similar. Yeah. So one of the characters becomes enlightened because in that time, the goddess Ashari, right, sent them to Earth to cultivate the Earth in preparation for man. So as we're doing that, but it's how it goes. It's going to take a while, like millions of years, to cultivate Earth and make it look very nice and prepare it for man, right?
Yeah.
So every generation of the Impuru OCC's lifespan, the elders must ascend. As they ascend, they must replenish the earth with the knowledge they've accumulated for being the elder at that time. So for some reason, this particular guy called Bakuzu, one of the elders of that generation, decides not to ascend. So he decides to claim the earth. So that's when the whole chaos begins.
Okay.
So yeah, so he's now left for these three young planters. Now they are broken into different groups. You have the planters. These are the guys that magically uh, build the forest. Then you have other groups that do other things, like take care of the mushrooms, take care of this and that. So what we did was to use nature to tell the story, because we wanted to create something unique, not the regular like epic battles and fight, but something that has to do with earth, nature, all entwined with this African myth from the Igbo speaking tribe of West Africa.
Cool. And if you
Mhm.
see here, you're seeing the art that I'm pulling up on the screen. This is from his Kickstarter campaign. This is actually how the art looks in the books. So it's not, this isn't like just random art, right?
Yeah,
This is the actual, like, this is the style of the book. There are no humans in these books. No human.
that's why we decided to make it a painting because there's no humans. We don't want to make it like a regular comic book. We wanted something that that looks very original and rich. So actually, this story has been a long time coming. I've been working on it for over 10 years.
Mhm.
And probably like about 5 years ago when I met Alexander, who's the illustrator.
Mhm.
He made it a lot easier for me because the guy is a genius. So because I drew because on the page you see the history of Olaju, right? The history of when the concept started. I started sketching the characters years ago, way long time ago, because then I had learned about that mythology, about those characters. So I was trying to create them because they're supposed to look like masquerades and tree life creatures. So, but what quest do you put them on? Because what makes a story interesting is the quest. So we had to make it unique and different. So it took time to, think and try and build something utterly unique. And the only way we could have done it was to take it outside our realm and put it in nature.
Yeah,
Yeah, put like imagine nature fighting against itself.
I feel
So
you on
that's
that. So,
yeah.
how many books has Peta done so far?
Right now I think we've done about 11 different titles.
So 11 different titles. A lot of them have been funded by Kickstarter, right? So you're no stranger to Kickstarter in general, right? You're pretty safe
Yeah,
bet when it comes
yeah,
to people supporting your Kickstarter campaigns, right?
yeah.
Yeah, one thing I would say is that Kickstarter is actually doing pretty well right now. So let's go up to what the status is. Right now, he already raised $2,800 in the first 2 days, 3 days of his campaign,
Yeah,
right? And
60%.
they're pretty excited. They're pretty excited about this title. I've always been excited about anything that's not typical black stories, right? Like everything can't be about superheroes or crime dramas, right? Sometimes we
Mhm.
need different, and this one right here has that real dope vibe to it, that tiki mask vibe. Just something that gives us a lot of culture right up front, right? And me personally, I like stories that don't have humans in it. Like I like stories where it's like about a wolf, right, or about a horse, right, and it's like no humans at all. It's just that like animalistic or that nature
Nature,
uh,
yeah.
like
You
viewpoint
know,
is
yeah.
is huge to me. So that's why I like Elaju, and I know you guys are gonna like it as well. Do we have any questions from any of the viewers here? Do you have any questions about this series? Do you have any questions to Peter about his particular experience and how he's gone about, being a publisher? Let me know in the comment section. And I'll pull them up just like this, just like Keston over here saying Chaoma is fire. It is fire.
Yeah, Trauma is fire. And you guys just know we're working on the continuation. Everything is on the BSP app for now. So we should be having another Kickstarter by February. Then we'll release the next installment. It's going to be issue 456, another 130 pages of brutality. You guys are going to be blown away. So,
Brutality. That's basically
yeah,
how
brutality, man.
they explain
Brutality.
Chaoma. Chaoma is not. It's not a nice story at all. It's nothing nice about it. Ain't gonna be no nice moments in that story. Chaoma's getting revenge. That's what she does. She's a
Yeah.
spirit of vengeance. Does she ever calm down in the newborn series, or does she get worse?
No, at that, yeah, Chioma, right? At that time, she's younger, right?
Yeah,
And this is like 10 years before the rise of the lazy.
yeah.
So now, okay, this year we should be launching volume 2 of the newborn, right? So
Okay.
you see her on a mature, motherly, behavior because she has like she's the most powerful because she's the most experienced. The
Hmm.
other guys just became in lazy, but she has been in lazy for like 20 years. She knows the secrets, the spells. She knows the truths about life and realms and magic and power. So
Yeah.
she's a much more mature woman and like a goddess, and she knows who she is. But the other ones are just like coming into the
Okay.
light.
So she did calm down a little bit in the
Yeah, she did. No, she had
newborn.
to.
She sliced her heads off instantly. Not you
Yeah,
want to know why you messed up before you slice your head off. That's
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. She's gonna be more,
Abdi asks, why do you use Kickstarter as opposed to other methods?
Well, for me, there are so many methods to raise money. Basically, it's not like we're looking for money to create the books. We're already creating the books, right? But I see Kickstarter as a way of getting it out there, just for the for that initial launch. It's like doing a little like a launch party. Sometimes you might get lucky. You might and it's really be very popular, and you raise a lot of money. That's good for you. But why we do Kickstarter is basically that first launch, to get the books out there, get people to pick it up, then you continue. So it's not really like it's a stock is the only way we to push out our comics.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
always makes sense. license app, for
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, a lot of companies roll out Kickstarters in general. One thing about Kickstarter is people come back. If they backed you before, they'll back you again. It's a very consistent group of like fans. They don't translate well into anything else. Like you can't go from Kickstarter and then be like, I'm gonna do some other platform and they'll show up. They
no,
kind of stick to Kickstarter. It's like a culture to them, right? So once you get the ball rolling on Kickstarter, you tend to do it over and over and over again because
hmm,
it's a consistent way to like basically launch titles, right?
yeah,
That's the reason why most people do it all the time. I don't do it because I raise capital, right? So I try to get it all in one giant big ass chunk as opposed to like piece by piece.
but definitely you're still gonna want to do Kickstarter later, maybe to
Yeah,
direct
eventually.
the fans.
And not only that, my creators will. So
Yeah.
people who are traditionally published under me, I don't
Mm,
stop them from doing Kickstarters themselves, right? And I'm the more of a supportive role, right? But if they want to make this easier to do this for a living, right?
mm,
They gotta do Kickstarters, man. Anybody who's starting off doing comic books for a living, you gotta have a successful Kickstarter gauntlet. You just gotta go to Kickstarter every now and then, right? In order to be able to not only afford to make the books, but also afford to not work 9 to 5 on other people's shit. Right? You
yeah.
gotta work on your shit.
you know. And but look at it now. You have companies like Valiant Comics and doing Kickstarters. But I think basically for them it's just a way of reaching directly their fans.
Oh, okay. Let's go and see if I can find a good image for this one.
All right, you
So
can scroll down to
yeah,
character.
yeah. I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
find it real quick.
yeah, just scroll down to character.
A nice
Okay,
close up. A
how
nice
much?
close up for the
Okay,
characters.
aren't they humanistic in their appearance? Okay, yes.
They're kind of, but not really. I mean,
Okay,
they're humanoid, right? They have humanoid characteristics, but at the end
yeah.
of
So
the
like,
day, they don't have eyeballs or nothing like that. It's like,
okay, the reason why we did that, because three people have always been has always been an earthly myth. It's not just only in the Igbo culture. It has, in different cultures you hear about three people. They live in the forest. I'm
yeah,
sure you've seen it in Lord of the Rings. But if you notice, we wanted to make it have more anamorphic feel so that you can easily understand. Because if you're gonna do like tree, that means be very rigid, no shape, But when it's something that
yeah.
kids can relate to,
There's
and
there's a reason why the Trents in Lord of the Rings have full faces, right?
yes, yes,
They
yeah,
got
yeah,
it's
yeah,
to be able to read what the hell emotions are going through them
agreed,
at the time.
yeah.
So
So
I understand why you do it.
yeah,
Uh,
that's why we did it that way, so that you can easily understand it, and the kids can easily understand it. These are tree people, but they are people, but they are trees. So we don't have to design something that will look very like a tree. It will not You will not understand. You will now know where the legs are, the arms are, or how it's talking, or how it's relating to other characters like itself. So if you go to the characters, like the characters part, I think that's the on the mid section of the.
Here's one.
Okay, yeah,
Just
this is yeah.
it's like it's not detailed. It's not very detailed at all. It's like very you can get the expression, but you can't really like. It's not like they have a lot of detail on their faces. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's
So,
a cool little design. Trey Black asked, "Do you need investors?"
of course, everybody needs investors. Yes, definitely. Do I need him? Okay, like, can you
Well,
like expand the question?
I don't think there is an expansion on that one. It's just, do you need investors?
Yes, I
Probably,
need investors.
probably because I do investment rounds a lot, so people think investing, right? So
Yeah, we need investors. Definitely, we need investors. To build the brand. It's as simple as that. Okay, we'll explore other ethnic groups as part of the story because so much has been lost and yet to be shared.
I think it does already. I think this takes a couple of cultures, like beliefs in nature, right?
Yes, yes, we mixed it. That's why what we did, if you notice, the name of the book is in Yoruba, the characters' names are in Igbo. So what we're trying to do is showcase these languages. We did the same thing with Chayoma. If you notice, even newborn, we mix the cultures. But the main thing about our company's goal is to showcase African culture, no
Okay.
matter not just the gods and everything, but the culture is very important.
Okay. Cool. How long did it take to come up with the story of Chayoma? Or I would re-question that and say, how long did it take you to come up with the story of Newborn? Because Newborn came first.
Yeah, newborn came first. Yeah, it took me years. It took me a long time. I didn't. You can't just wake up one day and say, I want to be a writer or a creator, especially when you have the thing in your head. It took me a lot, like years, like 15 to 20 years to build the story. Yeah, because well,
It's
yeah,
a long time, man. I advise against building something for 50 to 20 years. I'm just
yeah,
gonna
but I was younger then, because I was kind of not now, but now it's a lot faster. Like now, if you give me a character, say one, like I can just quickly whip up something because I'm experienced in storytelling. So, but then I was younger and we're still filled with the Western style of stories and the aesthetic. So trying to come out of that, and build something African was a problem because a lot of research had to be done to understand our history, our culture, the true history, not the colonized history, like African map, Senegal, Gambia. This is colonized pre the colonization, pre-slavery. And these things are not in schools, even in West Africa. Even in Africa, they don't teach them in schools. You have to find these things yourself through maybe go to museums, talk to the go to the villages, talk to the elder ones, the ones that are like 80 years old, and I actually did that. That's how I knew about the Guru Sisi, and that's how I knew about most of these things. And from there, talk to other scholars, people that have studied history. So that's why it took time. And of course I was doing other things. I was working, going to school, building myself. So it's not just one day's job.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see if we got any more questions. Let's see. No, I don't see any more questions. Let's just break down what's going on here. So the
So a
Kickstarter.
little, okay, like a little, like Olaju, right? Like I said, it took about 10 years because when the characters came to mind, we were still trying to build the story, but we didn't want human beings to be there because I was saying, how can we put human beings together? Why don't we tell them in their own world, since they are millions of years old, so that's when it all came about to build new kind of characters. Because it's not just them in the story. We have other characters. Like we have the kokoikas. They're like beaver-like looking creatures. They have their job to do. In the creation of the earth and building the earth into what it's supposed to be for man. So we have to create other characters to support the story and make the story look very natural and rich.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So right now they've raised 28.90. Uh, do yourself a favor and just get you some copies yourself, original copies, by backing this campaign, man. Are these books signed by you?
Yes, yes, yes. They will be signed. They
Signed
all,
copies.
yes,
We
because
have signed copies, a lot of books in the tiers, not just Olaju, but the other books from his company. They're also done. So if you haven't actually got any books from him before, right, now's a good time to build that collection. At the end of the day, right, how many freaking main characters with lightning powers or ex soldiers do you need? Right? You need some original content on
yeah,
the.
you need to diversify your collection.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
need
we
you need
created
it. You
Elaju.
need new stuff.
Yeah.
So
Now,
Kickstarter
now,
campaign Olaju on Kickstarter, right? And you can either look up Olaju or you can look up PETA and PETA Studios, I believe. Let me see here. Is it under PETA? The
yeah,
creator?
pedal team, or you can say pedal team, or just Olaju. Olaju is the fastest way to
Yeah,
post.
Olaju is the fastest way. It's right here at the top.
Yeah,
Olaju.
because it's not English, so it's Yoruba. So you definitely see it immediately. You
Yeah.
understand? So it's not English, and
And make sure to back this project. Remember, as a backer, you don't pay today. You pay at the end if he succeeds. So if he fails miserably, none of you pay, right? But if he goes over, then you help make him go over. Don't be that last guy to show up to the bus. Get on early, all right? That way he can make it to the finish line as fast as possible and be worried more about stretch goals than he is about actually getting his project funded. Is the project all or nothing? Absolutely, because it is a Kickstarter. Kickstarter doesn't have any other method besides all or nothing. That's what
mhm.
separates it from Indiegogo. Indiegogo has that soft stuff. Because I saw one dude talk about I'm gonna make an animated series, and then he was like, I'm gonna raise $1 million, and then he raised like $2,000. And in any other world, that would be a major fail, but in Indiegogo, he get to keep his $2,000, right? So this platform is an all or nothing platform. Balls to the wall, you have to succeed. So make
And yeah, I think I actually agree to that because now with $2,000 you can't do the animation, so it's all or nothing. I think it's a better way.
It always is better. It's always better because at least cause it doesn't let you lie either. You know what you have to do. You know what you're going to do and what you're going to deliver, right? When somebody has a goal that's not hard, then how do they know what they're going to deliver? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If it costs you this much to make a movie and then you get raised one fourth of that, you can't make the movie. So what are you delivering? You know what I mean? That's how I see it. So
Yeah,
guys, go ahead for
we
his.
also have some cool mech. We have some cool mechs, t-shirts, then in figurines as well. I know a lot of you like sweat tops, hoodies. So we had some exclusive hoodies prepared. You know,
Awesome. Yeah. If you
Mhm.
like merchandise, that's always a good thing to get as well. Probably at the higher tiers because that stuff's expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has an amazing track record on Kickstarter. So by all means, go to his Kickstarter campaign now, right, and support his campaign. And be on the lookout for Olaju and other titles on the BSP Comics app. We have a very strong season coming up. Probably January 1st, we're going to start season 2 of BSP Comics. And it's going to have a new system, new advertising system, new chapters dropping on a whole bunch of different new series. It's going to be a pretty wild 2022 for you guys. Hopefully, we can get to 1 million users on the app so
Mm,
everybody can get paid. That'd be pretty dope.
that'd be cool.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you on the next interview. Peace.
All right.